very good test.
Stavern really came to fight, but
he came to fight, but he came way out of fucking shape.
270.
Oh.
Somebody said he had actually he tried to trick Joe. He put rocks in his pants.
He put
but
rocks.
I don't think that's true.
Well, he has rocks in his belly.
Yeah.
Chris, man, your next fight is on one of the biggest cards of the year. Spence Garcia, Jean-Pierre Augustine. This guy's 17-0. What do you think about that? That at this stage you're still taking on undefeated fighters.
You know what? This is what I put myself in. This is the situation I put myself in. You know, especially like coming off a loss with Wilder. Then I took 2 years off, and then this is the situation I put myself in, and I got to make the best out of it. I got to come in there and come in with the bang, man. I got to make sure that people still remember me, remember that I'm still a heavyweight to be reckoned with. And at this point in my career, I believe I'm a gatekeeper. That's where I'm at right now. I'm gatekeeping. And you know what? Am I happy with that? I did this to myself. I'm the gatekeeper. So if I want to change the situation, I gotta change the attitude of everybody, the way they see me.
You look in really good shape. Is there any way you could be better in your 30s than you were as a fighter in your 20s?
You know what? I've thought about that, man. I thought about like how sometimes it's better late than never, but then sometimes late is a little too late. So let's see what happens with this, you know. And my mindset's a whole lot different, obviously, when I was a kid or younger. So now it's more about boxing, family, and staying home and just recovering. Before, you know, training, partying, and then maybe train a little bit and then party. But right now it's all about work and about leaving a legacy, man. This is not, I'm not in this no more for money. I love money. Everyone loves money, but I'm comfortable. I'm here for a legacy. I want to leave something behind. Like when my son later on, when he's older and shit, my daughter, his grandkids, they'll be like, oh yeah, that was your grandpa. That fucker was bad. So yeah, that's what I'm chasing right now. I'm chasing legacy. I'm chasing a title. I'm a title chaser.
Well, do you feel sharp though in the gym? Do you feel like you're just as good as you were in your prime?
It's not so much that I feel sharper, but I feel more sharper here, mentally sharper. You know, now I know different tricks. Now I know how to just relax in the ring. You know, unlike some people are just so amped the whole minute or the whole round. I'm like, no, I know how to relax. I know how to work the ring. I know how to work my fight. I know how to work whatever I have to give.
The flip side of that, do you feel physically diminished at all? I mean,
physically diminished, no, because obviously I took 2 years off.
Yeah.
And in those 2 years off, I was just home, relaxing with my son, and just contemplating, just relaxing, man. So no, physically diminished, not at all, man.
Not even like compared to where you were at,
at my 20s.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I guess. Like,
you know, only the fight would tell. Because in training, man, there's been endless of times that I got my ass kicked in sparring, endless amount of times. But at the same time, you know, when it's light, camera, and action, it's time to work. It's time to shine, man. And that's the way I am. I've always been a lights, camera, action kind of guy. You know, don't judge me by the way I'm doing the sparring, but judge that night. So we're gonna find out on the 16th, see how much Chris Arreola's left.
So you haven't had that.
I haven't
couldn't like with my hands.
No, I haven't had that moment yet at all. You know, obviously there's always that one time that you're gonna go in the gym. There's gonna be a sluggish day, a day that you're not gonna have. It's not gonna be your day. It happens. It happens to everybody. And have I had it in this training camp? Yeah, maybe once or twice. But other than that, man, I feel great. I feel sharp. The main thing is that I'm fighting a lefty, and the first 3-4 times of being in the ring, sparring, it's a little bit different getting inside a lefty. It's different angles, the different punches coming from a different angle. Like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting that, but now I'll be ready. So that's the main thing that's probably the hardest part, is fighting lefty and getting used to it.
Hey Chris, you talked about being off for two years. How do you overcome that ring rust? How do you eliminate that?
The main thing is sparring, man. You can't. One thing is, you could run 100 miles, you could run 30 miles, you could hike Mount Everest, you could do all that, but none of that is ever going to get you ready for a boxing fight, ever. Nothing's better getting ready to boxing than to box. So sparring's been going great. You know, I have a young kid in Oscar Torres that he's a very good up and coming kid. Scott and the one that fought out Travis Kaufman, they gave him a great fight. You know, he's a very good fast hand. So get him a butt kicked every now and then is a good thing, and I'm just more than ready and happy to come to this fight the 16th.
During the time off.
Happy birthday.
Thank you,
Oh,
I appreciate it, man.
Happy birthday. Yeah.
Big 3-8.
Today's your birthday.
You know what? It's just another day, man. I'm just older. That's it. I just happen to live another year.
During your time off, did your love for the sport kind of start to kind of reemerge at all?
I'm gonna tell you, like the first year that I was off, I really didn't watch that much boxing for the first year. I watched maybe the main fights and stuff like that. And the second year, there was more PVC fights. There was more big events, and I started going to one. I was like, "Fuck, man, I'm actually missing it." You hear the bell, you hear the ring out, you start getting goosebumps. You start doing this thing and wanted to get in the ring, and then little by little I was like, oh shit, I need to get my ass back in there. And I spoke to Juan, I'm like, if I don't fight before last year, if I didn't fight before the year was over, I was gonna retire. So luckily I got a fight in, and let's keep the ball rolling. And right now I'm in the part of my career that I'm one and done, meaning I lose, I'll retire. That's it. I lose, I retire. I'm chasing a title. That's the main goal. The main goal is the title fight.
So Chris, a lot of athletes say when they start thinking about retiring, they're already retired.
No, I don't think that. I think about the way I see it. I got to give it my all. I got to give it my all. One and done. Got to give it hell. Got to go out with a bang, right? Might as well. So, do I think about retirement? Yeah, I like being home. Who doesn't like being home? But I love fighting more. I love fighting. I promise you. My favorite thing about boxing is the fighting part.
How much do you look back on your youth with regret, if any at all?
I don't regret it. I had fun. I had a great time, man. And you know what? I appreciate all you guys, and you know, I apologize to all you guys too, because you know what? I was just full of myself. I thought my shit didn't stink, and obviously it did. But you know what? In all honesty, I don't regret it. It is what it is. That's my life. Here we are. We're here now, and now let's make it rumble.
How much fun was that period?
How much fun was it?
Yeah,
I had a ball, man.
You're knocking guys out, I assume you're partying it up.
You know, knocking guys out, it's always fun, but you know, boxing, I've always liked to fight, but I'm talking about the extracurricular activities was the fun part. Yeah. The fighting is just work.
You mentioned you're a gatekeeper. You're in a big pay-per-view right now.
Yeah.
Are we? Let's say you get past this opponent. Are we potentially looking at a fight against Joe Joyce?
I think Chris wants to go and challenge one of the big boys like a Wilder, Joshua, or Fury. I think that's where Chris wants to go, and I think at this point in his career, you know, I don't know so sure about the gatekeeper, but I know that Chris, once the gate does open and he walks through that gate, Chris will give hell to any one of the heavyweights. And you look at him today when you guys came. What's the first impression? Look at the shape he's in. Look at the shape he's in.
And it's not round.
He is determined, he's hungry, and he's ready to go again. And I think the fact that what he said, that if he loses, he's done. I think knowing Chris, he's using that as extra motivation, and that is what keeps him going, and that's why he's the shape he's in. You see the camp he had, and I think a Chris in a shape like that and a mindset like that is a threat to any of the heavyweights.
Have you wondered at all how good you could have been had you been focused your entire career?
Have I wondered? Yeah, of course. You know, every once in a while I sit there and think about it.
In your mind, what kind of fighter are you? If you
the problem is that I've never really how can I explain, carried over my skills into the ring, because then once I get into the ring, sometimes I just let my balls do the talking instead of doing this, instead of thinking about it, being methodical. But yeah, that's the main thing.